So at this point, it has been almost an entire year since Logan Paul decided to file a defamation lawsuit against Coffeezilla. This of course all stemmed from Coffee's coverage of Logan's CryptoZoo fiasco all the way back at the end of 2022. For those of you who might not remember, Coffee was the catalyst to shine light on what appeared at the time to be an abandoned project that Logan was promoting relentlessly the year prior.
For the last 6 months, I've been working on my own NFT project that I believe is going to change the game. I think there needs to be a fresh take. And this project that I have is that fresh take. September 1st, CryptoZoo.co.
This was supposed to be a crypto NFT based game that would allow investors to collect tokens, buy and hatch virtual eggs, and overall was supposed to bring this unique trading card-esque utility to a space that was on fire at the time.
Like we are a game first.
Yeah.
The token was built as a utility in the game. No one even knows what it is.
Now, of course, this did not pan out at all. The project was not very functional upon launch.
He promises the world a fun blockchain game that earns you money, and he did nothing, and the project was left abandoned.
And many investors felt left in the dark as Logan had seemingly moved on to his next shiny toy, 99 Originals.
We launched Originals, 99 Originals, the project I mentioned, and the project that I've been working on for 9 months, traveled the world, took a bunch of Polaroids, minted them as NFTs. The buyer gets the original one-on-one Polaroid, forming the Originals DAO. It's going to be a community with a community treasury that can vote what to do with the funds. And it's been amazing. The first one sold for, I think, 60K. The next one was 100K.
Of course, Coffee then drops his 3-part series, and he exposes Logan and really the entire team of shady people he had assembled to spearhead this venture. Now, in the end, most of the blame was actually put on the main 2 developers, Eduardo Ibanez and Jake Greenbaum, both of which are believed to have profited millions of dollars from their manipulation of the project. But of course, with Logan being the big name in the room, all these videos were really marketed around him.
But now I'm in a place where I actually do have to thank him for shining light on this. He just messed up by pointing the finger 100% at me and saying that there was any sort of fraud or scam taking place intentionally.
He had hired basically criminals who were selling on the back end, like some of the tokens. I think his mentality was, let me just move on.
And while the 3 main videos in this series specifically are not listed in the actual complaint, as it was beyond the statute of limitations by the time Logan would file this, 2 later released videos and a tweet were sufficient enough for Logan to sue him for both libel and defamation, claiming that Coffee continued to paint him as a scammer who was operating in bad faith, despite knowing the actual truth about what was going on in the background. This was a far cry from when Logan had initially gone on record thanking Coffeezilla following the series.
Coffeezilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire and ego, but the fact is that suing Coffeezilla is not gonna help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be. Thank you, Coffeezilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation.
But obviously their relationship would sour at some point.
It's like a little fucking annoying. It bothers me.
And in a statement released the next year in a documentary about his life, his tone was completely different.
The CryptoZoo saga is far from over because it was a one-sided story. I've lost $500,000 on this. Where's the scam? These internet journalists, internet investigative reporters have way too much responsibility on their hands that is being mismanaged and wielded in a really inappropriate way.
Although Logan would later have issues with the interviewer from that series, Graham Bessinger, arguing with him during a TMZ interview where Graham says that Logan wanted to cut all of the CryptoZoo topics out of the documentary.
You're lying.
Let me finish. The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff. If CryptoZoo is in there, if Coffeezilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Now that is the face of a man who is allergic to accountability. I mean, at the end of the day, he was the one pumping this project up.
Kids are going to care about the blockchain because of my project. Imagine your first experience on the blockchain is with CryptoZoo.
And he was the main reason that most people knew about it in the first place.
It was a one-sided story. He told it how he wanted to tell it. He told it a certain way that made me look like the captain of this ship.
But now he wants to say, oh, I'm not the captain of this ship just because they completely dropped the ball.
What responsibility do you feel for what happened?
I put way too much trust in bad people. What you just described isn't a scam. I took on a project that I was simply incapable of handling at the time.
As you see there, and as you will see in these filings, a lot of this is actually about the scammer label. and the literal verbiage of how it was used by Coffeezilla.
6 months ago, I investigated CryptoZoo, a scam created by Logan Paul and a team of criminals. Logan Paul is refunding people he scammed if they promise to stop suing him. This is what makes this such a massive con. This guy sold millions in NFTs, tens of millions of Zoo tokens, and he's not even going to release the thing he promised this whole time with his fans who he scammed. He's a serial scammer who's offering a minority refund as a last-ditch effort to save his wallet and his reputation.
And now over the last year, there have been several moves made by the legal teams of the two sides, as well as the judge who will potentially be in charge of this case. And at this point, you have had things that have occurred that go against both parties. I'm talking about leaked text messages, ulterior motives, hidden phone recordings, and letters from the judge himself. But before we get into all of that, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of today's video, Sundays for Dogs. You already know how much I vouch for the sponsor of today's video, Sundays for Dogs. But even as much as I personally like the brand, my dogs Lola and Delilah have to be even bigger fans. As a matter of fact, they're so in tune with the brand at this point that they even put a dog on the bag that looks just like my noble steed. Basically, Sundays took the nutritional value that comes from fresh fruits, vegetables, seeds, grains, and of course proteins, and made that all into this all-natural air-dried food. I'm showing off the turkey variation today, but they also have chicken and beef options, both of which my dogs have also loved. I really feel like Sundays has helped them maintain their weight. It's given them an even softer and shinier coat of fur. And I don't know, I just really feel like they've been healthier and happier ever since this became a part of their diet. And today I wanted to give you all a chance to try it out, as we are offering a 50% discount on your first order of Sundays when you head to sundaysfordogs.com/Jamari. Or of course, you could always just use my code Jamari at checkout. So y'all make sure to go check it out and get half off your first order at sundaysfordogs.com/Jamari. Basically, Logan wants to see behind the curtain. He wants to see everything from the 1-year investigation Coffeezilla did regarding CryptoZoo back in 2022. Coffeezilla, on the other hand, has essentially been protected from handing out this information due to some sort of journalist protection law. But Logan's team says that he needs to see this information to prove the actual malice against him in the defamation and libel case. Because his entire argument is that Coffeezilla not only called him a scammer, but did so knowing that Logan was actually the good but clueless person in the CryptoZoo situation. But because Logan is a public figure, he has to prove actual malice. So he says he needs the text messages, the video and audio recordings, and really anything else from that period of time to do so. His team also seems especially interested in receiving the text messages sent between Coffeezilla and a YouTube lawyer named Attorney Tom, but we'll get back to that agenda here in a second. Now after this, Coffee's team tried to get this trial to motion for judgment, which basically means they want everything to stop right now, and they want the case to be decided based on the information provided in this pre-trial. Their argument is that when Coffee called Logan a scammer, it was simply hyperbole, and that no one should take his statements to literally mean that Logan committed actual fraud. They also argued that this was all a matter of opinion, citing a disclaimer Coffee places in the description boxes of his videos. But the judge actually did not agree with this, and he denied their motion to expedite the trial, which to me means he thinks that Logan might actually have a case here. And this would lead to them being able to file an objection to his decision, and this is where Coffee's team reveals these text messages between Logan and a friend. So in a text from December 2022, Logan would say, "Bree." They also claim that Logan admitted to suing Coffeezilla to straight up make his life more difficult and drain him of money, obviously adding major levels to his stress. They even say that Logan is straight up trying to punish him for reporting on the topic. In January of 2023, he would say via text message, Logan's friend tried to talk him off the ledge, saying that he shouldn't really give a shit because he's a very successful billionaire. He replied in turn that he was a petty billionaire, and that he knows Coffeezilla would have a hard time paying for a legal team and the potential damages incurred from the case. All while this litigation money is simply child's play shit. I mean, based on these texts, revenge on those who threw dirt on his name. I should note here that Logan has also sued the two guys, Eduardo and Jake, for the CryptoZoo failure. I mean, obviously I was surprised at this Coffeezilla lawsuit from the start, but now we are seeing that there might be an ulterior motive beyond the pettiness. Because in their rebuttal, Coffee's team speculates that Logan is only doing this lawsuit against him as some sort of 4D chess move to help defend himself in a class action lawsuit he is currently facing over the same CryptoZoo project. That is where this guy Attorney Tom really comes into play, as he is the lawyer who is spearheading that class action lawsuit. So now they want to see all of him and Coffee's communication, like what were these guys really saying? Because in getting all of the information for one case, he would essentially be getting a lot of the information for the other, as he has admitted that he learned a lot about what happened due to Steven's coverage of the topic, things he himself being directly involved did not know.
I found out things watching his series. Like, dude, I was at the airport when I watched the part where he said Jake's had stolen.
Of course. I was like, what?
$6 million.
But now Coffeezilla's team wants this case consolidated with the ongoing class action lawsuit, saying that the fundamentals in both cases are the same. Basically whether or not Logan scammed his fans in CryptoZoo. Even making a very nice Venn diagram that probably cost Coffee a cool couple thousand to produce. So it's like, did he scam people or not? And in Coffee's case, if he didn't, did Coffee defame Logan enough for clicks, knowing that Logan was caught off guard by the situation and trying to make things right in the background, or at least that's what Logan's standpoint is. But we're gonna have to see what happens from here. I think that Logan is in a stage where he tried to kind of play the good guy to get the public favor back on his side for years. And now he's to the point where his mantra is, well, if everyone already thinks I'm an asshole, I might as well embrace the role. And I truly think that's at least half of what's going on here, like beyond the pettiness, beyond wanting to do this discovery of all this information, I think that he's just embracing the villain role. But I do want to know what you guys think about this down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video and dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other crazy lawsuits out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace!